Hey folks, it's Patriot Nurse. Welcome to my kitchen. We're going to talk about hand washing today. Soap, is antibacterial soap important, and why in the world should we focus on hand washing as part of preparedness? So I want to cover a few things with you. First off, let's talk about the importance of washing your hands, and even though this may seem a little bit boring, I want you to stay with me because there are potential life and death consequences to this. Let's talk about water usage first off. In the event that we're in a situation where we have to triage our water usage, people tend to get very, very sloppy with hygiene. They tend to not wash their hands after they go to the bathroom. They tend to really try and conserve water for drinking only, and I understand that completely. Anybody who's ever been primitive camping can attest to the amount of energy that we expend trying to get water, okay? So what tends to happen is when people start cutting back on the hygiene uses for water, disease tends to spread like crazy. And then what happens when people start getting sick, their water usage goes up, it just kind of exponentially grows and kind of snowballs into this bad set of circumstances because people didn't wash their hands, they didn't practice proper hygiene. So washing your hands appropriately, I'm trying to get in frame here, so you guys just work with me here. Washing your hands is a really important thing, okay? But I do want to go over some points with you guys, namely like what type of soap do we need to use, how do we properly wash our hands, and like how hardcore do we have to be about washing our hands for different things. So let's get to it. Okay, so right here is an example of some soap that may or may not traditionally get used to wash your hands. This is dish soap, okay? So this is Meyer's dish soap. This is just what I use in the house. For those of you who use it, you'll regularly attest to how lovely it smells. Here's the point, guys. This soap right here is almost as good at cleaning as this stuff right here, like the dedicated hand soap. This is from Trader Joe's, okay? The point being that as long as you have some sort of scrubbing, is that a new word? Scrubbing, bubbling agent, that's gonna do a lot of the work for getting your hands actually clean from a chemical standpoint. Okay. What do I mean getting your hands clean from a chemical standpoint? Anytime that we have this little number right here, anytime that we have bubbles like actually being made, this is going through an oxidative process, okay? Any bubbles that are getting made here, that's essentially sucking out the nasties from bacteria. It kind of makes the bacteria go like that, and it sucks out the water from their insides, and then it kills them, okay? So anytime that we get bubbles made here, friction, on the hands, we got two things going on. There's an oxidative process, okay? So, chemically the nasties are getting sucked out, but also look at what I'm doing here with my hands. To properly wash your hands, you want to make sure that you get a good amount of friction here on all the surface areas. Some people talk about counting their ABCs. Well, yeah, that's okay. Like, we want to count our ABCs, preferably twice, like when we're singing. Or sing happy birthday to yourself twice. But this is the thing, guys. You got to make sure that you're getting in here really nice and good with your nails. This is where a lot of crap gets stored up, like under your nail beds. Really disgusting bacteria and nasties. So when you're washing your hands, you want to kind of cup them here and just kind of scrub, but also get into every little nook and cranny here, and especially the top parts of your hands. When I was in nursing school, we went through this little exercise. It's one of my favorite ones, actually. We went through this little exercise where we were invited to basically do a surgical scrub. So we had to scrub for an extended amount of time, and then they went over our hands with a black light, and I was actually the cleanest one in the class. I was very proud of myself that day, but this is why, okay? Taking your nails and really going after it there. Now, why do we care about like the duration, the friction why do we care about this? Because basically most of the nasties in your hands, okay, come off not because of the soap per se, but because of the friction and the sloughing off of dead skin cells on your hand, right? So if you really want to cut down on these bad boys, you got to make sure that you're covering the whole surface area of the hand, and if you expect that you're going to be doing something a little bit more high stakes or invasive, like helping catch a baby or assisting in a birth, and you don't have gloves, this is going to be important here, okay? Like making sure everything is scrubbed up here on your hands and scrubbing for an extended period of time. But the take-home message here is it's not so much about the soap here. Soap is important, but the friction here, the sloughing off of the dead skin cells, that's where most of the good stuff is. That's where you're going to be able to really cut down on the nasties that are on your hands, okay? So scrubbing, making sure to get into all these little folds right here, like the folds in your fingers, and even the back parts of your nail beds right here. Get those areas really, really clean. Okay. And why did I do that? Why did I use my elbow? Because I don't want to be transferring anything or recontaminating or retouching the handle, that area. So when you're scrubbing, you want to make sure that you wash like really good. Get the water to run down your hands, okay? And what I do not want to do is to turn off that handle with my hands again, right? Don't want to do that. Now, there's a way to do this, okay? If a surgical scrub is a little bit different, it's a little bit more intense, but for everyday hand washing, like for important things, this is just fine. But essentially what I have here now, I got a set of clean hands, and I don't want to recontaminate it with a dirty towel or like a dirty rag, something like that. Just let them air dry. If you don't have the ability to do that, don't be wiping it on your clothes and stuff. Just let them air dry. Do the little mechanical monkey clap like that. But this is just an idea for you guys to kind of like look over the essentials with washing your hands. It does not matter what soap that you use. It really doesn't matter. It's about the work that you put in here to cleaning your hands. See, all clean. I hope today's video was helpful for you guys. If you did enjoy the video today, please subscribe to me. Click that button down there, the little red one that says subscribe. Subscribe to me, like me on Facebook, and follow me on Twitter. Also, if you're interested in learning more about taking care of your family for long-term disasters and you're bored with first aid, come out to class. Medical Prep 101 and 201 are happening all over the country. Medical Prep 301 will also be debuting later this year. We teach classes all over the country, guys. We're going to Peoria, Illinois this year. We're also going to Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is next weekend. We still got space, so if you want to sign up, you can. We also are going to Salt Lake City, and then Bella Ridge, which is in Harrogate, Tennessee. That's going to be in October. So this is all 2015 I'm talking about here. The 2016 schedule is going to be coming out in the next few weeks, guys, so make sure and stay tuned to the website and the Facebook page for the very latest. I hope it was helpful for y'all, and for now, it's Patriot Nurse signing off, and I will see you guys later. Bye.